Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to everybody who's been awake, and good morning to those who recently woke up within the past few hours. We appreciate you, Night Owl, staying awake to listen to our podcast. Thank you.
It's 1 o'clock and 1 minute, and today we're going to be talking about
NFTs.
And
a little bit more.
And a little bit more. So first, introductions, please.
Hello, my name is Jean-Luc. I am a student at the University of Aruba, and I've had a interest in in technology and games my entire life.
My name is Bruce, same thing. I have a background in multimedia engineering and digital marketing and design, and since 2020, a Cardano advocate, as you can see. And we've got exciting things coming up. Our show is developing, Soppy Mix is growing. Let's give a thanks to our main sponsors, Swing Masters and Subway. And we've got some more sponsors coming up and more cool projects. And we're trying to lay down the foundation of technology on Aruba, at least in an adoption sense. And that's why I think it was important. Last week, we got some great questions.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have a question right now before we jump into NFTs.
Sure.
On our post of today, we got a great question from Mr. Mejia. Would solar-powered blockchain work on Aruba?
What?
The short answer is yes.
It would definitely lower the costs of the electricity by a huge load, and then of course increase the profit margin. Pretty sure, because the only cost against the profit is the electricity when you're mining, right? So yeah, of course it'd be great. It would be huge investments because solar panels themselves are.
Well, I think how we have to approach it, and I think it's a great question because there's many roads to Rome, right? And the question has to be, what do we want to do with blockchain and solar power on Aruba first?
Yeah.
Because I think in context, it's about mining and generating cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's important for asking the question of applying solar power. But I think solar power on Aruba can just generally work.
Yes.
For even a house.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to kind of pursue that a bit more and put it in more, prioritize it, because I'm sure with modern LiFo technology and accessible battery management systems and the lowering prices of that, now it's all about configuration and testing and case studies. So I think the question, blockchain and solar power on Aruba working, is a definite yes, because we have enough power to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what the next question will be, which blockchain technology is most probable to be successful? And again, I come back to Cardano. To Cardano because Cardano, if we take their model of generating crypto, which is proof of stake, we can do that on very low voltage computing. So I could theoretically, create a stake pool server on a Raspberry Pi, and the problem of energy is not there. The problem that we'll have is great internet connection. So the challenges for blockchain Aruba is not necessarily the solar power. It's more about that, that
The bandwidth.
the bandwidth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's a challenge. And don't worry, we have some friends at Satar. We are going to do a project coming soon, and more to come with that. So thank you for that question, Mr. Mejia, Mr. Christian. We know each other, and keep them coming, guys. Bring us these questions, and we think it's interesting. And we can only learn more by talking about it, right? So Jean-Luc, let's talk about non-fungible tokens. NFTs.
NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Let's look up what it is, right? So, non-fungible token. I've got some great articles here. But what's important to understand, like we can talk about, I like to use the analogy of a car, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to know what a carburetor is? Maybe. We just have to worry about what it does for the car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think what people need to understand is that the future of digital ownership is tied to this little term, non-fungible token or fungible token. It's just a fancy word for what we do when we create a digital assets, and usually these digital assets are forms of art, right? So in short, non-fungible tokens are digitized assets from music to pictures to movies.
Specifically in the context of cryptocurrency.
In the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, because you can have non-digital NFTs technically.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Jump in there, buddy.
what is a fungible token, right? What is a fungible token? The main example of a fungible token would be a simple dollar bill. If I hand you a dollar bill and you give me a dollar bill, we don't lose any value amongst ourselves. They are both equally valuable, right?
Because it's this. Okay, I get it.
It's the exact same product, right? And there is no true differentiation between them.
In that transaction.
Yeah.
The action is my hand to your hand, you have it, boom. And now we transferred value.
Another example would be unique Pokemon cards could be considered non-fungible. If somebody has a first edition shiny Charizard that was first generation printed, right?
Charizard is a character in Pokemon, people.
Yeah. And he gives it over for just another Charizard that was recently printed and not shiny, that is not an equal transaction, even though they're both Charizard Pokemon cards.
Right.
The shiny Charizard is a non-fungible token. It is utterly unique.
Right. So is there a source of this term? Does it come outside of blockchain?
I think
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'm pretty sure that the term was popularized due to making unique tokens, because that's what NFTs actually are. You have non-fungible tokens that suddenly are tied to usually a piece of art that can be tracked and traced on the blockchain.
Right. You hit it on the head, I think. You actually explained it better than how I understood it. But I have here at Investopedia by Rakesh Sharma, what is a non-fungible token? And let me quote it for a second. We have the time. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, are cryptographic assets on the blockchain. So we understood that. With unique identification codes and metadata that distinguish them from each other.
Yeah.
Great. We understand that as well. Unlike cryptocurrencies, they cannot be traded or exchanged at equivalency.
No.
So that's what you just explained. This differs from fungible tokens like cryptocurrencies, which are identical to each other and therefore can be used as a medium for commercial transactions. And think of it as a Picasso. Well, a Picasso painting's value is totally dependent on many things, right? Here's the what you need to know list, and I think it's good for us to
also
unpack that.
Yeah.
What you need to know from Investopedia: NFTs are unique cryptographic tokens that exist on the blockchain and cannot be replicated.
Yes.
So that's very important for us artists to understand. NFTs can be used to represent real-world items like artwork and real estate. Yeah, that's another thing. It can go beyond art. Wow. Tokenizing these real-world tangible assets allows them to be bought, sold, traded more efficiently while reducing the probability of fraud.
Because you can confirm if it's the actual NFT.
Absolutely. Yeah. NFTs can also be used to represent people's identities, property rights, and more. Ooh, very interesting, right? So
Yeah.
let's open up our future vision on what NFTs are going to be doing most probably, right? So very interesting. That means that could I create an NFT from a property that I own?
Yes.
Theoretically.
Well, theoretically.
Will
yeah,
it be
yeah.
accepted by current framework, like the notaris and the bank?
No.
Probably not.
No.
But that's an interesting thought, right? That we can generate
Mm-hmm.
a blockchain token from a real world piece of asset.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting what that's going to mean in the future for a borderless economy. That's something that people have been talking about for a long time. And you know, and about 2 weeks ago, we had a good friend of ours, Brandon, which is already participating in a borderless economy on a service level. Right?
Yes,
So he provides administration services. But I think that's very cool. Now let's dumb it down. Do you own an NFT, Jean-Luc?
I do own NFTs. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Can NFTs exist anywhere? Is it like a dollar bill that I can use it anywhere in the world, or
Currently not.
Are we dependent on a platform?
Yes, we are currently dependent on the blockchains and the platforms that use the blockchains. For example, one of the biggest NFTs platforms would be OpenSea,
Yeah.
which is a NFT marketplace where people can buy, trade, collect, sell, and even create art pieces, images, GIFs, videos, and make them NFTs, so traceable and recognizable unique
Scarcity.
tokens on the blockchain. Yeah.
You jump to the marketplaces. So when we say the word, and this is for our listeners that are interested in learning more about it, an NFT marketplace is kind of like an eBay for digital art.
Yes. Yes.
Probably, right?
Yeah. I think that's a perfect example because it's the users who creates the products and sells the products, trades it, buys it, bets on it.
Right. So OpenSea. Let's go through a couple of them. So I have here another list that I looked up from coinsutra.com. The 7 best NFT marketplaces, and I know a couple of them. We actually have. I have an NFT on OpenSea.
Nice.
That was given to me. Where that's a little preview. We're going to be releasing this project that we're doing together with some local artists and local businesses. OpenSea. Go check it out, people. If you want to learn more about NFT marketplaces, that is the highest grossing, biggest user base. It is kind of the number one NFT marketplace in the world. And it actually uses multiple
blockchains
as the tokenization asset, right? So the minting. And then
Yes.
we're going to get to that as well, what minting is and all that. But let me go to the list for our listeners, and I'll be sharing this link with right now. There we go. Boom.
So here we can give a more current example of the difference between the coin and the blockchain.
Right.
Because the blockchain is basically the infrastructure that allows a lot of unique things to happen, right? And a prime example here would be minting and trading and keeping track of NFTs.
Right.
And each blockchain has its own positives and negatives to use, and the different technologies that you can apply the NFTs with.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what I want to do. I want us to go through it a bit and talk about. Let's do it this way. I have a picture. I do landscape photography.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and explain how do I make a fungible token out of that, and how can I sell it online on the blockchain. Right.
Non-fungible.
Well, an NFT. I'll create an NFT out of it.
Yeah.
So yes, non-fungible. But let me finish the list. So we have OpenSea. There's another one, Rarible.
Yes.
And from Rarible, I think that it's rarible.com as well. is a community-owned NFT marketplace, and it's founded in Moscow, right?
Wow.
Then we have Super Rare, which is that's a digital art gallery, and that is really beautiful, but a little bit more exclusive. If you're interested in owning NFTs, this is a very expensive place. And I think they sell stuff for like 1 Ethereum and 2 Ethereum, which is the equivalent of a couple of $1,000.
They go higher.
Yeah, but they are super unique and very. I think it's a non-fungible token marketplace for true artists. I think what they're trying to do.
For what you would consider like high-end galleries, you know.
Exactly. Yes, the high-end gallery, and it's not open.
It's not anybody can join to buy.
But not anybody can join to sell.
To sell. No,
you there's an onboarding process.
Yes, you have to be invited. Yeah.
In here, I got a couple of more, like Foundation, that I don't really know that well, and Nifty Gateway. But there's another one that I thought was interesting, was Mintable.
Yes.
So let's go further. So I have a picture, and I'm interested in creating a asset out of it. So I've learned that process is called minting, where I can take that picture and then through a interface, basically create a blockchain asset, and that process is called minting. Is minting expensive?
It depends.
Does it cost money?
It costs money. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
You need cryptocurrency in order to mint an item.
Right.
And usually that is considered as gas fees, right?
So yeah, that's the next term that I want to get to. So understanding digital non-fungible token is you got to understand the process. The process of turning an asset like a video or a piece of music to a digital asset is minting, and the cost of doing that is called gas fee.
Yeah, it takes fuel to fuel the process.
And sometimes you'll even see a little car in the loading process.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny, gas fees. So you have to imagine one thing going to another spot, and however long that takes probably. And does that depend on the fees of the network from the platform?
No, not on the platform specifically. It is more on the blockchain itself.
Well, yes, that's what I meant. Sorry, wrong wording. You're right.
Yeah.
But I meant on the blockchain. So, for example, Ethereum has set network fees, and that's why a lot of people are complaining about Ethereum.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of long-term investors are sort of skeptical if Ethereum could handle a jump of mass adoption and huge communities coming in to start.
Funnily enough, because of NFTs in the past, it has jumped in user bases, and all of a sudden nobody could use the platform anymore because of the gas fees.
So it's a bit volatile.
Yes, it can be. Yeah.
And Cardano, our chief executive officer, Charles, that's why he built Cardano.
That's why Polkadot also exists, which is viewed as like the competitive sibling of Cardano.
Yeah, but we got to keep watching both. One is Cardano is taking a much bigger approach in, let's call it academic responsibility for the code, and a big push for community adoption and helping the community and giving the community the tools and a lot of governance, right? And that's why I'm more familiar with Cardano. And Polkadot's a little more company-owned, I guess.
Yes.
They have some stuff too, but I just feel that Cardano is very aggressive. There's also another one that I liked. I think, what was it called again? There's another cryptocurrency that has a huge I think it's called Algorand.
Algorand.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
I feel that Algorand is a great contender as well to have a future spot in this new rising industry. And I do feel that as soon as the technologies become more dependable and people through their phones start engaging crypto a little better, we're going to see some landslides moving towards, I think, Algorand and Cardano, Polkadot, and Ethereum could be able to reinvent itself.
So let's go back to trying to mint
Right,
an NFT, right?
Yeah.
And
Where should we go? Where should they go? I want to turn my photography into assets and try and sell them.
so I have personally tried to mint NFTs, and I've tried to have my friends mint NFTs so that I can experience the process, right?
Right.
And a general consensus is that it can be pretty frustrating if you do not have the funds for it.
Right.
And the easiest one I would recommend would be Mintable.app.
Yes, I agree. Let's pull it up. I agree. I think I have an account there. I remember the pictures we took of Tokyo. We had some fun at home and tried to create a backdrop for music. I minted one and I put the way you feel when you get Cardano, and my wife is dancing in like this really dark blue. And Mintable has gasless minting.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But what is the downside of that? Is there a downside?
The only downside is the community of Mintable is not that big, so it is less likely for your NFT to be purchased if that is what your goal is,
But go back to your story. I interrupt you. My apologies. So you tried to mint it.
Yes.
How'd that go?
The Mintable app, while for somebody who's experienced with navigating through websites and trying to learn what everything does,
Right.
It's not that difficult, but it is not very user friendly as well. So if you're very new, there's going to be a lot of terms, whether you want it to be on your own market or you want it to be on the public market, and the pluses and negatives of that. And it was a little bit complicated. It was very intimidating, to be honest. But eventually, me and my friends managed to post and mint an NFT and place it onto the public marketplace.
Right.
So it was available and I could see it on the website. It loaded. I could vote on it and everything. So it worked. It was posted.
Here's the next big thing I think is important for us to explain. So you're going to have to do we hold them on like a product listing on eBay, or do we hold them in our wallets?
They are viewable on whatever platform that you posted them on.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that it is both the art and also a unique token that is tied to that art. And it is that token that is what's being tracked. And that's what you hold in your wallet.
Do we need a wallet connected to these marketplaces?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Exactly. And should we recommend this wallet?
I think the most widely accepted and easiest to use one would be MetaMask.
Absolutely. Yes, guys. So I'll be sharing that right now. Let me look it up so I don't forget. A great wallet is MetaMask. And MetaMask is sort of it's browser-based, but you can trust it. Just look for the right link. And very important, guys, very important. You have to, when you make a wallet on MetaMask, they give you a password phrase.
But
you have
12 word.
I think it's a 12 word.
Or 13.
Cardano's 24 and 27, depending on the type of wallet. But take that moment very, very, very seriously. And the best thing to do is write it down.
Yeah.
Take a pencil. We can all do it. I know it's weird. I haven't touched a pencil in years. And write down words. But yes, write it down. And you know what? What I've done actually is I wrote it down in 2-3 places. So I don't forget.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of weird for me to put it on a piece of paper because I'm really bad with paper. And I've got a lot of paper everywhere and it might be lost in a haystack. But yes, take this 12 phrase word very seriously to make your wallet. Once that's done, you get a spending password, usually. I don't know what it is in MetaMask. Make a password separate from all your other passwords. I have a unique crypto password. And yes, that's going to be where everything's going to be happening. So usually what happens when you mint, it's going to be visible in your wallet.
Yeah.
And that's how trading is done, right? So the send and receive option of the wallet is how transactions is done. But how do you do it from putting it for sale? Does the platform help you with that? And
Usually in the minting process itself, you can choose whether you have your own personal marketplace,
Right.
which costs a little bit more gas fees, but you earn more if
Right.
you're trying to make a profit off of NFTs. Or you can post it, and this is specifically on Mintable. I am not sure whether it's the same on OpenSea or any other platform. You can post it with no gas fees onto the public market, where
Right.
everybody posts, and it's a wild, wild west. And Mintable takes a small fraction of the profit, a small little percentage. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. Let's go further. There's a lot more going on in the NFT space. So there's something I want to talk about when it comes to collecting NFTs, right? So would it be interesting as an investment to collect NFTs? Like if you have some Cardano or if you have some Ethereum to buy some? What do you think?
I have to be very honest. If you're not interested in the idea of collecting art, then you should not collect NFTs.
Right.
It's that simple. If you're not interested in collecting any form of collectibles, for example, gizmo pops, whatever those are called, or unique pieces of lost media, or simple digital art or physical art, if that doesn't really interest you, then collecting NFTs is not something that you would enjoy.
Interesting. And
In my personal opinion.
yeah, I agree. I have trouble with that myself because I do feel like I'm an infant in understanding what's going on regarding the growth of the adoption of NFTs, and I'm a little bit standoffish because it does seem a bit expensive. But do you know about successful NFT series, or what are those things? Does that even exist? Let's tell our viewers.
Yes. As I previously mentioned, there was a case where all of a sudden the gas fee spiked in Ethereum because of mass usage, right?
Right.
And I mentioned that it was due to NFTs. It was because one of the most successful NFT projects on Ethereum was one called CryptoKitties. Yeah. And what it was you could go onto this website called CryptoKitties, and you could pay to buy a kitty, right? And each kitty was kind of randomized, and you would have different rarities of CryptoKitties with different combinations, and most of them were pretty unique, right?
Right.
And each of them had a value attached to them, and you could trade, you could buy, you could sell, you could breed, you could make new CryptoKitties. And people started realizing that the rare ones would be valued by a lot. And it just exploded. And all of a sudden, because so many people were suddenly using the Ethereum blockchain to trade, buy, create NFTs on the cryptocurrency website, the gas fee spiked and most people couldn't use it anymore, which is pretty funny.
Right. Let's talk about a little bit about very famous NFTs, right? So I want to talk about one in particular that was very inspirational for me.
A recent one even.
Well, it's not that recent anymore. It's now a couple of months old, which is like...
Wow, months.
Yeah, which is like in dog years, or AKA crypto years, that's forever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I want to... Space Buds was an NFT project from Berry Pool, where he started giving people that staked Cardano at Berry Pool a free NFT, which was the Berry Pool logo in many shapes and colors. And then he decided to randomly generate through a script the 10,000 different space buds, which were different kinds of animals with different things in their hands, all in space.
Yeah.
Like very cartoony, very cool. And he sold out on the first day.
Wow.
And he sold them, I think, for $1 Cardano.
Wow.
You know, and that's when Cardano was like $1. So on paper, he made 10,000 Cardano, which is amazing because now that's worth about $28,000, right?
Ish.
And it was a pretty simple idea, and you got that straight into your wallet in your Daedalus or Yoroi, straight into your wallet, and you have it.
You could see the token.
Yeah, you can see the token. So I thought that was great. But we are coming up with our community. That's happening. You're going to be a moderator, hopefully. We still have to talk about that. But yes, so just so you guys know, we are going to open up something really cool, and we're going to tease you a bit. But by next week, we'll be here with a cool new idea for Aruba, and we wanna start, helping the community and and get us all together, and let's have fun with the NFT space.
We would like you guys to participate with us on our journey with NFTs.
Yeah, so we're gonna come back with that because we have to organize it a bit. But I wanna share some of the most famous series that are coming out. I'm here right now looking at some of the there's one called Punk Circuit. Punk Circuit, and it's a very a very pixel style pixel art, and they'll be releasing 1,000 of them for 0.02 Ethereum. And 0.02 Ethereum, that's not a little bit of cash.
I think that's $20.
That's about $20.
No.
Is that? Let's double check that.
Trying to keep track of all the prices in our head and then dividing it by like hundreds or thousands.
Well, a quick DuckDuckGo is $64.
Wow, $64.
Yeah, but that could be cheap. Depends how you look at it. I mean, I know someone that paid 1 Ethereum and then sold it for 5.
He did
because they're. Sorry?
He managed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I look at the art, there's some of them that are super collectible. So if I look right now quickly at, for example, Rogue Society, those are going for 0.09, so that's $100 and something.
Damn.
They're really cool robots. And you can see that there's also one that came out of Pippi the Frog.
Yes.
And I want to talk a little bit about creating hype, which is a very important keystone for NFTs right now, how NFTs kind of work.
For internet culture in general.
Yeah. And
what is hype?
What is hype? You tell me.
What is hype?
That's more part of your generation than mine.
Okay. So
what is hype?
So I think for the most part, when the hype and the hype train is something that is very commonly used alongside each other, right?
Right.
And the most common example I can give is when Star Wars announced the latest series, their continuation of the saga, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, all you hear about is Star Wars.
Right.
And oh my God, are they gonna do this? Oh my God, are they gonna? They dropped new information. It's like everybody
they're analyzing the trailer.
They're getting excited.
Right.
There's so much energy. The community is active, and the goal, and so like that activity, that excitement, the creation of content, the fact that it keeps growing because more people talk about it, more people hear about it. That entire phenomenon, can be called hype.
Okay.
And so
then you got the naysayer. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah, don't believe the hype because people get really excited and they go really deep. They start over analyzing and over speculating, and then once you get too excited and it's not up to your expectations, then it was overhyped.
Yes. And when I just looked up while we were explaining that. Fashionable Ape. Did you see that one?
No, that's new to me.
Fashionable Ape looks really cool. It has that DNA of that band Gorillaz.
Oh, Gorillaz.
It has sort of that rogue, dirty style, I do believe that if the NFT looks really good, the art is really good, it really helps.
Yes, especially.
Yeah, and that was pretty hyped right now. And look, the floor price right now for a Fashionable Ape is 0.99 Ethereum.
0.99 Ethereum. Wow.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is roughly 3K right now.
Volume traded 138 Ethereum has been traded already.
Wow.
So things are happening, but are we in its infancy, or are we already on our way?
No, we're in our infancy.
We are, aren't we?
Because
This is hyper niche.
yes, and a prime example in that is that the most developed and most advanced blockchain for NFTs is currently Ethereum.
Yes,
And-
absolutely.
And a lot of people who go into Ethereum have a love-hate relationship when it comes to using it for trading assets in general because of the extremely inconsistent and usually very high gas fees.
Yeah, because the thing is, if it does fail, and it does happen when you're trying to even mint something on Ethereum, I've lost $60, and I only had about $200 worth of Ethereum, and it will grow in value. So when you lose $60, it hurts the most for us that
Yeah.
believe in its future value,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's where we are right now, where let's call ourselves blockchain enthusiasts or geeks or whatever you want to call us. But that's why going back, Polkadot, Cardano, Algorand, these are the chains to watch for. And now that we've kind of covered NFTs, that artistic side of things, what about the gaming side of things?
Also,
That's where you have more experience than I do.
That's where I have currently the most successful experience in.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm currently very fond of one called Engine.
Engine.
Yeah, when I think it was last week, when we last spoke with Brandon,
Right.
he said that he was familiar with Engine and what they used to be and what they are now. And a friendly reminder: Engine is now a cryptocurrency, a blockchain that specifically works with NFTs and tying them into games, right? And a prime example would be World of Warcraft, RuneScape, where there is a market, there is a player market, both in game and out of game, where people pay money to get access to some rare items, right, in the game. But the thing is that the assets in the game, the players don't actually own it, right?
Yeah.
It's technically lended to them. They are
It's a
given permission.
subscription.
Yeah, they are given. They are allowed to use it when they are playing the game, but they don't own it. So selling and trading it becomes very complicated, and this is where NFTs solves that solution.
Exactly.
So what Engine did with a few games, with Minecraft and even another dungeon crawler-esque game called Lost Relics, you could play the game, and just like any other game where you grind and you kill monsters and you get rewards, the rewards can be an NFT that is automatically generated and connected to the blockchain.
Right.
So the extra step would be you would have to connect a wallet to the game while also logging in and using your email and everything.
Right.
But once you have an NFT in your, on your character in the game, it is automatically in your wallet and you can then trade it. It is worth something. And that promotes the player economy and everything. And it's also cool. You own that item.
Not only is it cool, I think it's ethical,
Yes.
right? So the user experience for let's say a 10-year-old plays Fortnite and buys
A skin.
a skin.
Yeah.
In its user experience, that is now yours. It's in your, it's in your back end. What's that called in Fortnite? It's in your
It's in your backpack. It's in
your
item.
backpack,
Yeah.
in your items list,
Yeah.
right? And the experience is that you own it. But if you look at it more crucially, more critically, it is yours as long as the game in this version exists and is supported.
Yes.
And for example, Splatoon 1, that is now discontinued. The servers don't run no more. Whatever, if I would have bought anything, it has now gone back into the void.
Yes.
And blockchain can actually give you that after existence. And that's what makes it very interesting now to participate in games. It's like buying that first comic and you kept it for so many years, and all of a sudden, there's no more there's no more Wolverine magazines, and then you still have it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's a very interesting way to look at what NFT technology can do for what games have become. Games have become not only the experience of playing a character, but the character becomes super unique of how you approach the game.
Yes, yes.
Most great games are that now. So
and a very interesting thing about Engine is they used to be based on Ethereum, right?
Right.
But
they shifted.
They shifted, yeah. Now they didn't completely cut off themselves from Ethereum, right? But you can now move your NFTs onto their own highway, own blockchain, so that you can trade it for gasless, so no fees.
Wow.
Which would, of course, heavily promote the trading of all of the tokens that they have on the blockchain.
Let's make something really clear. In case everybody hasn't, if you haven't noticed, when I'm looking the other way, I'm actually, while my son is talking, I'm actually trying to find all this content, because to be honest, I just had a huge problem while you were talking. I could not find Engine because I was looking for ENGINE.
Ah, yes.
So let's make some. I've shared the link on our feed on Facebook, but Engine, what we're talking about is ENJIN.
Yes.
Engine,
And
like a gin,
Yeah.
And I see here a nice website. It's in white with a subtle sort of purple haze.
Yeah.
And I see here a wallet installs 2.3 million already.
Yeah.
So I really feel that the mass adoption that's going to happen is either going to happen on the one end from the enormous growth in gaming that's going to happen in gaming community. The gaming community spans from PC owners all the way down to console owners, but I think franchises actually cross that now.
Yes.
Steam runs on many things. There's a gaming community, what we call light gamers on mobile phones, and a lot of franchises cross even to that. And from the other end, how certain governments all over the world are trying to solve social issues with blockchain, like for example Ethiopia and the Ministry of Education with digital IDs and all that. I think the mass adoption in Western world, Europe, the US, Canada, is going to happen through the gaming community is going to push it through. If you think about how Hollywood competes for entertainment, right? How Spotify and Netflix compete for our time. The gaming industry has seen a kind of growth that they haven't seen, at least the ones that make the content, not the platforms that stream them.
Yeah.
And do you think that the gaming industry, is there more growth potential?
Very much so, because there aren't many blockchain games, as some people have started calling them.
Blockchain games.
Blockchain games, yeah, games that
Beautiful.
are directly connected to the blockchain, right?
Right.
And because the technology is new, and even the mere idea of how would a game work where you can be rewarded by with NFTs, and the design around that, and probably the storage issues with that, the generation issues with that of the NFTs.
Server and bandwidth.
Yeah. It's all brand new, and it's being explored as we speak, right? There's even a card game that is only on the Ethereum. I forgot what it was called, but each card in the game was an NFT, and you could buy, sell, or trade the cards for Ethereum, and they all had worth.
Like in a sort of a
like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Okay, that's
Pokemon.
what I meant. Yeah. I have zero experience with that. You're a little more.
And you could even compete for Ethereum rewards in the game.
Okay.
And there's this new term that is being used and tossed around, where it's called play to earn.
Yeah. Well, that's always been that way.
I mean, yes, but now you can...
Zelda is a play to earn.
True, right?
Earn your heart.
Yeah, earn your heart.
Earn your items.
But in this case, you can now get financially rewarded, or like crypto cryptally?
I guess.
Cryptally rewarded. That sounds so
Rewarded,
weird,
rewarded with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, you can
Cryptocurrency rewards.
You can be rewarded with something with actual financial value now by playing the game,
Yeah, I guess so.
which is a crazy idea.
Well, if it's, look, money is money.
Money is money.
I mean, you could have 1,000 pesos. It's still money,
Mm-hmm,
right? So I think if you've got a token, it's a token. If
Yeah.
it's tradable, it's tradable. And that's the beautiful thing about blockchain. As if it's in your wallet, you can transfer it and you
Yeah.
can ask for something in return. You know, so what I'm gonna do, we've hit the 45-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
When we hit the 1 hour mark, because we had a lot to unpack, but I
Yeah.
want to split this show in two.
Tell me.
Today we covered the basics. So guys, let me just give you the summary. So
Mm-hmm.
an NFT is the official term for basically a blockchain piece of art, right? Or a piece of
Yeah.
an asset. But think of it right now simply as, hey, if you're an artist and you make music and you shoot pictures or you design, you could definitely think about and explore going online and figuring out what that can mean for you. So that's what we're trying to do here. So the basic term is NFT is a digital asset online,
A unique
digital asset online.
unique
Thank you,
digital
Jean-Luc.
asset.
How do you make that? It's called minting.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of that is called the gas fees.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you sell them? You can sell them to you through your Instagram, really, if you have a following. But the NFT marketplaces are the places to go because
Yeah.
they give you the right tools and guidance. We definitely recommend going to OpenSea. The recommended wallet right now, very shortly, most adopted, widely
MetaMask.
used, MetaMask.
Yeah.
It looks like Firefox.
Before they changed the logo.
Before they
again.
change the logo for us internet people. Yeah, so it's a polygon looking fox. And I wanna end the show there. And we've got more to come, Jean-Luc. Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna do some cool things with these NFTs. And if you have NFTs and you wanna sell them or you wanna show them, let us know. We would like to see you on the show.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if somebody out there is already doing it, come here. Come talk about it. And how was your experience with it? And are you booking any kind of success really? And let me tell you, if you put it online already, I'm already impressed.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's end this with our sponsors. We want to give our thanks to Subway and Swing Masters. We want to give our appreciation to Soppy Mix and this great concept. We have cool things coming up. We also have some sponsors coming up, and we're looking forward to next week when we do part 2 NFTs. And
All right.
NFTs for Aruba is what I think we're going to call it. All right, guys. So, anything else you want to say, Jean-Luc?
I look forward to being able to earn like $1 because I played a game.
Right? Play
Yeah.
to earn. Okay, now I get you. Like, you can easily also be compensated.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot to talk about in part 2. All right, guys.
Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend. And Jeff, you can sign us out.